Which characters represent their series the best in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate? Welcome to the video. My name is Later Manor. We are back at it again. This is actually part 2 of this 5-part series representing all the characters in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. This episode is going to be solely based on the Melee characters, but I do also have 2 other guests. So say hello, both of you.
Hello, gamers. We are gamers here.
All right, sounds good. Sounds good. Jeno and Dom are here yet again, and thank you so much for the support on the first part. I'm very glad to see that lots of people are interested in this topic. Me personally, I just love talking about games no matter what, and this gives an easy opportunity to talk about way too many game series. That being said, how do we feel about the most creative character of all time, Peach? They cooked, right?
I mean, let's think about it here. It's heavily based on her appearance in Mario 2. The float was obviously something they had to add because that's like part of, which is, you know, like every appearance she's in, she has that.
Right.
But the turnips from Mario 2, obviously, and then her paraglider, which
Where did that come
was
from?
that first seen in Mario RPG?
Oh my god, I think it was. You're right. I think it was. Actually.
I think that's first from Mario RPG.
Damn, the Mario RPG reference.
Which
Insane.
the Mario RPGs in general don't get a lot of good representation in Smash, which is insane to think about.
Mm.
Like we mentioned, like the hammer.
She
we
also
Mario's
uses
hammer.
a Toad as a bodyguard.
True.
Literally body bag. Literally body bag Toad right in front of her.
Quite literally.
I mean, thinking about it realistically, the glide carries a lot, I think. That's obviously in her first ever playable appearance. Parasol, like you said. Turnip from Mario 2 as well. A good down B. I mean, Toad. It's a good little prop attack, I think. You know, it's Toad.
Do we count the down B bomb as anything?
Yes, because sometimes in Mario 2 you pull out a bomb.
Yeah, no. I mean, yeah. I wouldn't give it extra credit for that, but
I don't think she's ever pulled out a Mr. Saturn in Mario 2, but that's
Mr. Saturn.
Liberties,
that's actually Mr. Saturn's first appearance. Mario 2.
Yeah, it was Mario 2.
Yeah, it's a secret. Little known fact, by the way. I don't know. Honestly, the more I talk about it, though, all of her, besides the booty bump side B, I think all of her attacks are actually pretty good. Maybe she actually lands in good. I was memeing, but...
Yeah, quite literally, she probably has that literally because her name is Peach.
Oh, wow. I didn't even think about that. Hold on, you're cooking.
Yeah. And she hits you with the biggest peach she can find.
For real.
I mean, isn't that quite literally her final smash? She puts
her final smash, yeah.
The peaches.
Yeah, the final smash doesn't really mean anything, I feel like. I don't think that's a reference at all.
It's just kind of a thing. A lot of her other attacks are like just kind of like basic, like just like, you know, hit like slaps and kicks and stuff.
That being said, I mean, again, the only special attack that doesn't represent anything is the side B. All the other ones definitely represent her appearances.
Right, and also her side smash is like the golf club, but if you tilt it upwards, it's like the frying pan, which I think is also from Mario RPG.
It is. It actually is. Wait, you're cooking.
And then then you tilt it down, and it's like a tennis racket, which, you know, Mario Tennis.
Wait,
Mario
Peach
Golf.
represented the Mario sports. That's what you wanted, Dom. It's in Peach.
Not for Peach, though.
It shouldn't have been for Peach, though, is the entire thing here.
That's kind of crazy, actually. Yeah, she actually has more than I expected. I was gonna put her in mid
her basic attacks are like just whatever attacks, but like the moves that they decided to pull from the games are actually like decent picks for Peach. There's nothing from like Super Princess Peach, and we can't count like Peach Showtime because that game didn't exist at the time.
Right. I don't know. I think, but like even just following, because obviously Peach doesn't have that many playable experiences. I think just
Right.
emphasizing a lot on Mario 2, I think is fair. And I think that's kind of
Oh
cool.
no, definitely because like the newest 3D Mario game that or like the newest Mario game that she was playable in was like Mario 3D World for
Yeah.
Smash Ultimate,
So,
and that took a lot from Mario 2.
right. I mean,
So
I think
even
maybe it would be a they cooked if she had like a cat power up ability or something. I don't know. I really don't know.
yeah, if she had like some kind of like power up like from 3D World, because that was again the game that she was most recently played in.
Right. I can see it. That'd be pretty
Yeah,
cool.
but hear me out though.
What?
So you know how Joker has like a custom end animation or whatever?
It's
Yeah.
a custom one screen, yeah.
Yeah. What if for Peach, when she loses, you just get Toad being like, "Sorry,
Sorry, your princess
in
was
another
another
cat."
cat.
Sorry, your princess is another cat. Now that would be they cooked. Pause. Okay, that being said, Daisy. Is it rude for me to put them in Did They Even Try?
No,
That's where they
because
go.
because Daisy is literally the exact same as Peach, and I know that's what they were going for. But like, if when I think of Daisy, I don't think of
Yeah. I don't think of a. Okay,
I
it's
don't
weird.
think of her floating. I don't think of her pulling
Yeah.
turnips out. I don't think of her, pulling out a toad. I don't think of that stuff because most of Daisy's appearances come from spin-off games, like the Mario sports game.
Whenever I think of Daisy, the only thing I can think of is like half of her lines from the
Mario Strikers.
soccer game. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, again, Daisy could have also been a sports rep or side game rep. Obviously, she's
See, I
she's
feel
an
like she
Echo,
wouldn't even.
so it's
I
important
feel
to
like
note.
she wouldn't even be that bad of one too for a sports
Right.
rep.
No, I think
Right,
her and
like,
I
they-
think
they
her and
could've taken a lot.
Waluigi would both make a lot of sense as a sports rep.
Right.
'Cause that's
Yeah, they
basically
could've
why
taken a
they were
lot from the
both
sports.
invented. Basically.
Yeah, but it's also like there's just so many Mario spin-off games that she appears in. She appears
Mhm.
in like Mario Kart, Mario Party, Mario Golf, tennis,
Imagine a whole
Strikers.
ass Mario spin-off moveset. That could be hype. Okay, I will say.
Yeah,
I
just like a bunch of spin-off games. That's it.
I will say, obviously we know that these are Echo fighters and they're meant to be low effort, but whatever. May as well rank them just to rank them. There are some Echo fighters that actually act a little bit different and actually have a little bit more reasoning for being so similar to their base character. So I would absolutely give them a little bit more credit. But I mean, they are quite literally. Did they even try? Because no, they didn't even try. Dark Samus and Daisy are basically the exact same character, which I know is the point, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, like we mentioned with Dark Samus, the only difference is that she has she has floatier movements in her animation, but she's not actually more floaty than Samus. She has the same like jump height, same ground speed, and everything as Samus. So like they didn't even decide to change that.
So-
Daisy, the only difference between Peach and Daisy is just the way Daisy acts, which
Okay.
again is just cosmetic stuff at that point.
I actually forgot. I wanted to make like some slight changes from the past part. So let's just do that right now, really quick, before we move on to Bowser.
Oh yeah.
We received comments about Donkey Kong. I think I'm convinced enough that we can move him at least at the top of Did They Even Try? I could move up to boring if y'all think otherwise. First of all, Donkey Kong is technically an original moveset, so he is clearly more creative than the Echo Fighters, right? And more representative.
Definitely more creative, but again, it's a matter of like, yeah, they had to do something essentially from scratch, but does it represent the character?
Right, and okay, they did mention
It
people
doesn't really represent Donkey Kong.
people have mentioned his grab is technically his barrel throw animation and everything. He can grab people, then put them over his head. That's like part of his gameplay loop, right?
Right.
So there's that. I mean, everybody and their mother mentioned that his dash attack is the role, like I mentioned,
Is
but
the role.
I don't value that at all because it absolutely should have been one of his special moves again, because I think it's integral to Donkey Kong Country gameplay. Anyway, either way, if it is going to move up to boring, it's absolutely going to be at the bottom, and I will be strong on that. Because again, the problem with Donkey Kong is that he has so much potential. Right.
Right. And that's the reason why I don't think it should move up to boring. I'm fine putting Donkey Kong like at the top of did they even try, but like for boring, it's like they for boring.
They
I think
did
it's
stuff.
that they did the bare minimum.
Yeah, they
and
did the
I
bare
think
minimum.
that
I don't even
they-
think Donkey Kong did the bare minimum. I think that's a good point, actually.
Right.
Because he doesn't even have a barrel throwing attack. I'm sorry, all right? It's Donkey Kong.
like-
What about the game called Donkey Kong? He's not doing the main action.
Again, they essentially do have a barrel throwing move, but it's like they're not like pulling out a
Yeah.
barrel and just throwing it. Like they're picking you up and
that
throwing
does
you
feel
like
like a bare
barrel.
minimum. I'm not gonna lie, that does feel like a bare minimum. They didn't even do that. The rolling thing would have been enough for me to move it up to mid, but like, and if they had both, I would say good.
I still think if it was like a Donkey Kong Country style Donkey Kong, it would have like they could have like included like at least like one of the animal buddies.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that would be a
Like-
they cooked. If they had all three of those, that's they cooked.
Like I'm trying to remember what's the bird's name?
Squawks. That'd be such a good uppy. Oh,
Yeah, exactly. Because-
oh.
Like a
Okay,
good
but no. To be fair, the correct uppy is the barrel cannon.
That too, the barrel cannon would have been good. But
No,
at
you
least,
know
like,
what?
using
Squawks.
the animal
Squawks
buddies.
would be a great uppy for Diddy Kong.
True.
Because-
But he also
because-
has his jetpack.
Well, Donkey Kong doesn't get held by Squawks in Donkey Kong Country. Diddy Kong does though. Like Diddy Kong actually rides on Squawks. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. I think it's fine right here. They'll probably stay at the top of did they even try then. I actually agree with you though, Gino, that he doesn't even do the bare minimum. So that's enough. Alright, I'm proud of this comment. Somebody left a long comment saying Captain Falcon and Fox, they are represented in Smash better than their main games. I was thinking for a little bit that we should consider making a whole ass new tier above They Cooked, saying Smash made this character. I think the general consensus though is that we just don't do that. However, I do still agree with the point that without Smash, these characters basically wouldn't exist. Like some of these characters, like they just wouldn't even be known.
And that's fair, especially when it comes to like Captain Falcon.
Captain Falcon especially. I mean, like, he was a nothing character. He was in a car. We didn't even see him in game before Smash.
He wasn't even he but by all technicality, he was not even in his own game.
Yeah, so for Captain Falcon especially, he's represented in Smash more than any other media. He just is. So, but that being said, I also agree that he shouldn't be They Cook because he could have had a car attack, all right? He could have jumped in the Blue Falcon, Wario style, and rode around, all right? Like that could have been changed over time, right? I get it for Smash 64, but you know. So what? Do y'all think the bottom of good is good for him?
I think bottom of good is fine.
What do you think? Ben?
Yeah.
If it's like they didn't have much to pull from, but they still did it anyway. Type
Right.
of character.
I mean, it is true. They really didn't have much to
There are
pull.
a couple characters like that, and we're actually have a couple in this video.
Mhm.
Like in the melee roster where they don't have much to pull from, so they just did
Right.
something original.
And Fox as well. So Fox is the thing is, I actually think we're a little too hard on him. Do I really think Fox is boring? Not really.
Not well, I mean, like
He does. I mean, he definitely has unique moves. And, like, again, he's almost entirely fully... It's a creative moveset. Like, again, these characters are hard to rank because they're technically not representing their game, but they're representing themselves better than they did in their own game. And at that
right.
point...
And I brought this up before, like in the last video, where it's like some of the characters try and represent an idea rather than the game or their their character themselves. Like Ness is more of a representation of Earthbound rather than a representation of just Ness.
Exactly. And I think Fox
So-
here is like very fast. Like, you know, he has a, you know, I mean, it's funny we're doing this in the Melee video.
Right.
Because it's Fox. But yeah, I mean, everybody knows Fox and Melee, right? Like, he's
Right.
that's the character, right? That's the meta name of the game.
Bro is the Melee character, you know?
He really is. So yeah, you want to do bottom or top of mid? I think Pikachu and Jigglypuff stay next to each other no matter what.
Yeah.
Maybe bottom of mid.
What do you think, Dom?
I would keep him bottom.
Okay.
Because I like, even though, like, you know, it's more of an original Smash character, I can't justify putting, you know, Fox over characters that actually had, you know, things from their game represented, even if they took creative liberties, because those older Pokemon games didn't really have like animations, just like the sprites.
Right. No, that's fair.
They still like base what their attacks are like on like what was said in like the Pokedex, for example.
Right. Okay. Also, slight mention. Well, actually, nah. Don't worry about it. I was gonna say mention about Jigglypuff because somebody said Jigglypuff should not be mid. Bro, what else would you do for Jigglypuff? Please explain. I honestly feel like Jigglypuff did what they needed.
Listen. All Pokemon characters should be mid because none of them evolve.
True.
Imagine
they are the mid evolutions. Pause.
Listen, all I'm trying to say is imagine if every stock they evolve.
Wait, that'd be hype. Pause.
That'd
be so cool,
like you pick Pichu. Stock 1, it's Pichu. Stock 2, it's Pikachu. Stock 3, it's Raichu.
Yo, hype. Anyway, whatever. Let's move on. Bowser. So, Bowser, I will say, is a part of the Donkey Kong theorem. Unlike Donkey Kong, Donkey Kong Sakurai wanted to make him feel like an ape, right? Or a gorilla.
Big monkey.
Big monkey. Bowser is just a big monster. So Sakurai's mentioned before that you wanted Bowser to seem like just a monster. That's literally all it was. Not like Bowser like a monster. And it's very showing here. There's actually a few things I thought of off screen about Bowser that I don't like. Maybe even enough to bring him into Did They Even Try? So Bowser, I mean, if you look at Bowser's moveset right away, you could already immediately see it's like Donkey Kong, right? It's all just like slashes. It's all like nothing burger attacks. None of his smash attacks mean anything. None of his regular attacks mean anything. And his special attacks, the first one you can think of is Fire Breath, right? That makes sense, right?
All right.
But the Fire Breath, I would argue, doesn't even. The Fire Breath is actually just a nothing burger as well. Because the way that it works is not like anything from any Mario game ever. Every single Fire Breath attack from Mario are fireballs, not Fire Breath.
I'd actually argue against that because in Mario 64, he actually does have Fire Breath.
Yeah, but the way he does it in Mario 64 is not like that.
No, it kind of is because he just shoots out a bunch of fire, and yeah, they come out as fireballs. But
okay, they should have lingered then.
I mean, that's fair, but at the same time, like I could say that the fireballs is like the Fire Breath in Mario 64 being fireballs instead of it being a big stream of fire is a technical limitation of the hardware, because in Mario Sunshine, which came out, like around the time Melee did, they're both on the GameCube. I forget which game came out first. Bowser does have Fire Breath, like he does in Smash.
Interesting. Okay.
And in later games, Bowser does actually have Fire Breath, not just spewing out fireballs.
Fair enough, I suppose. Okay. Best case scenario for that move, he has both. You hold B, it's Fire Breath. You press B, it's Fireballs, like from Mario 1.
It's a fireball. I mean, that could have been a nice mechanic.
Anyway, I'm just saying, the original Bowser appearance, if you want to be super technical, like if we're trying to like, represent the character, I actually think it's a fair point for in general to represent the main characteristic of that character, for it to be their origin, like with Donkey Kong throwing barrels, right? I mean, Bowser
Why
in
isn't
Mario
Bowser throwing
1.
hammers?
True. Wait, that'd be so good. True though. Why is Bowser not throwing hammers? Okay, but anyway. The point is, there's a lot of games Bowser could take from. The fireballs, whatever, fine. Fire breath is fine, I guess. But what other move does he have? Like actually?
He has his down B, which is based on the boss fight from Mario 3.
Oh wait, you're actually cooking. I forgot about that.
And he also has the final smash, which is Giga Bowser, which is a Smash original design, but the actual attack is based on Yoshi's Island. Baby Bowser from Yoshi's Island.
Is it actually based on that?
Yeah, where he like grows large, goes into the background, and then punches the screen.
I don't know if Giga Bowser is based on that though. I think it's just meant to be like a big monster.
No. The Giga Bowser itself is a Smash original design from Melee, but the actual attack that they do, which is growing large, going into the background, and then punching the screen, is based on that fight from Yoshi's Island.
What I will say, no matter what, even if it is just based on Melee, I think it's fine because it's still representing something, right?
Right, and again, it represents that idea of like Bowser is just a big monster, and the design of Giga Bowser is just being a big monster.
That being said, I still just feel like there were other things that they could have done by now.
Oh, definitely. Bowser's done a lot, like over the years.
That being said, though,
Like,
the ground pound for
They have
Mario,
a lot of choices.
the ground pound for Mario 3 actually low-key convinces me.
You just like Mario 3, don't you?
Well, yeah, but I mean, I just forgot about that attack. I mean, there's a big difference between one okay attack and two attacks with one actually being good, right?
Right. Does Bowser ever go into his shell? I mean, he does in like the final boss of like New Super Mario Brothers U. Like after you attack him, he starts like spinning around in his shell, and I mean that is an attack, but also that was in Smash first.
I was gonna put him below
So,
Donkey
isn't
Kong
that just
originally. I don't know.
I mean, you
Isn't
might have
that
to
just the,
listen. You might have to put him above Falcon. Like I said, the shell spin was in Smash first, then it was in a Mario game. Smash influenced the Mario games.
Hold on. In fact, they cooked.
They might have cooked, honestly.
Whatever. Honestly, I think it's either here, here, or here. What do y'all think?
I don't think it's did they even try, because they obviously did if they're taking like certain aspects. But like you have to remember at the same time, like Bowser's one of the older characters in Smash, and like one of the big things in this list is like the older characters need to be updated.
Yeah, they have more potential,
and
at
the time,
they're gonna be judged a little harder.
At the time it was just like the 2D Mario games, Mario 64 and Mario Sunshine. And like it wasn't much.
I will say though, I actually am having a little bit of trouble thinking of other attacks for Bowser to have. Like if I'm just being honest.
I mean, yeah.
Like it's actually not as easy as something like Donkey Kong. Like in Donkey Kong, you can think of a ton of attacks. For some reason, Bowser, I'm having trouble.
Like I'm trying to think of what they could give him from Galaxy that makes sense, but like nothing.
The balls from that one.
The
final
balls.
boss. The balls. You know what I'm talking about? The balls.
Yes.
The balls.
I mean, they could do a clown car, but like that's Bowser Jr.'s whole thing.
That could definitely be his upbeat though. To be fair.
Yeah, it could.
I mean, they could do the cat suit from
Meowser could be the final
Meowser.
that one.
Yeah, I will say it's not nearly as easy as Donkey Kong, which is funny.
They should give him the car.
You know, maybe they did cook, honestly.
Well, I'm just saying, like, because if potential's that big of a deal, I just don't. I can't think of that many powers that he has, right? Or that many like abilities that he showcases. Maybe he should have just like gone harder into the fire breath aspect, because that's obviously his biggest thing.
I mean, maybe they should have, you know, gave him hammers.
Yeah, I mean that would definitely be something.
I think Smash has something against hammers, because this is the third character where we said they could have used hammers.
True. I don't know. Are y'all good with just bottom of boring? Or you
Yeah,
think it should go
I
above
think it's
Samus,
a good
maybe?
spot for him. I think that's a good spot for him.
Yeah.
Alright, whatever. Let's just move on. I'm a little conflicted with Bowser, because originally I thought he could have done a lot more, but now I can't think of much. Whatever. Ice Climbers! Ice Climbers! So this is the other character that I thought would go in the Smash Made This character list here, but since that doesn't exist.
Speaking of hammers.
Oh wait, you man's really said Smash must have something against hammers. Next character, it's all hammers.
It's literally all hammers.
I mean, I'm not a big fan of Ice Climbers. I have nothing. Okay, I mean, Ice Climbers is a terrible game. One game.
It's one game. It's
okay. To be
literally
fair,
all you do is you jump and you use your hammer.
To be fair, right? We're talking about how they represented the character. Already, I think it's instant mid. Because this is the only character that is showcasing the co-op, right? If there's one thing I'll give Ice Climbers, as an NES game, it was kind of crazy that they could have co-op at the same time, because that wasn't a thing for NES. Right? So you could play the levels together.
A lot of the times it was like taking turns.
Exactly. So the fact that they're kind of showcasing that here by having two players playing at the same time, right, for one character, that's something, right? That's creative enough for me to at least put it in mid.
But it's almost like a NES situation where, like, instead of trying to represent the character of Ice Climbers, it's more trying to just represent the game
or the idea, like,
the idea of like a mountain climber.
Exactly. So like they use like little ropes and stuff to like help each other climb and stuff like that.
Yep.
Like for their upbeat.
And they have a couple ice attacks, which makes sense considering like they climb a snowy mountain.
Right. I don't know. I mean, again, this is a weird character.
What about the hammer spin?
The hammer spin?
Again, the hammer is
what does the hammer spin have anything to do with it?
Okay.
They do use the hammers in the game.
I mean, they do.
They use them as an attack, like in their forward smash, and then which is like pulled straight from the game.
Okay, saying they use the hammers is a little.
I know it's crazy that Ice Climbers has a 1-to-1 attack from their game. It's their forward smash. But also like when they jump, they use the hammer to break ice so they can climb higher.
I actually wonder if
the hammer is an actual important part of Ice Climbers.
I actually wonder if their two-player mechanic is enough for me to move them to the top of mid.
I mean,
it is.
There is
to
one
be fair,
more
that's a big deal. Like that absolutely deserves to carry quite a bit because it's unique.
Yeah, right? There is one more thing I do want to mention about Ice Climbers that is taken directly from the original game.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not the entirety of their final smash, but in the final smash, when they like bring up that like giant like ice thing like at the bottom, there's a bird that appears that's from the game, and if you can catch the bird, you like it holds you up above the ice while the final smash is happening. And that's taken directly from the games because for some levels, in order to beat them, you have to grab the bird.
I don't know.
I sound like the biggest Ice Climbers fan.
You are the biggest Ice Climbers fan on earth.
I sound like the biggest Ice Climbers fan. That game is ass.
That game sucks ass, bro. What do y'all think? I do think mid makes sense.
I do think mid makes sense because again, it's more the idea of a mountain climber rather than, you know. And again, like we mentioned like Donkey Kong and Bowser before, how it's the idea of a gorilla or the idea of a monster. The difference is those characters actually had something to pull from, while Ice Climbers really has nothing.
So top of mid or
So
bottom of
we're-
mid? What are we thinking?
I'm thinking bottom of mid because again, I can't see them going higher than characters that actually had stuff to pull from, and then they actually pulled from it, like Jigglypuff and Pikachu.
Dom, what do you think?
Yeah,
Same idea?
kind of the same. Yeah.
Alright, fine. Whatever. Sheik! That's funny. I didn't realize Sheik shows up before Zelda in, a shocking man. Yeah. Alright.
Yeah, that was something that I always question, like, why is Sheik first before Zelda? And
Yo,
Sheik is
spoiler
another
alert,
character-
Sheik is Zelda! Oh,
That's crazy.
I'm just
Well,
saying, more people
so-
found out Sheik is Zelda from Smash than Ocarina of Time. I'm just saying.
I just think that's funny. But also, when you look at Sheik's appearances, Sheik has appeared in like 2 games, and they were was Ocarina of Time and Hyrule Warriors.
I'm just saying.
Those
If
games
they-
are like 20 years apart, and Sheik was in Melee.
This would
So-
also be another character that would go into the Smash made this
The
character.
Smash made them. Yeah, like I said, there's a number of them in Melee alone that like Smash created like that character essentially.
Because what did I don't I
Sheik
played
doesn't do
anything in Ocarina of Time, yeah. So here, she actually does stuff.
It's just based on the idea of like
Being a ninja.
like a ninja style character. She's fast. She
Uh,
has like
Yeah, I mean, do any of
that's really about it.
do any of her attacks represent something in Zelda? Does she have like Deku Nuts or something?
She has like a needle thing.
I don't think
Like
that's
she has like throwing knives or whatever they are. She
I mean,
has like a bomb on a rope.
I guess. I don't think any of her attacks actually represent anything from Zelda though.
No, I don't think they are. I mean,
So that being said, I don't think is that boring?
I think it's boring because it's just kind of basic ninja stuff.
Yeah, I guess theoretically, like if you're gonna make a Zelda character based off of a ninja, you could have used more Zelda related stuff.
To be honest, that's a sentiment I feel like for a lot of Zelda characters. They're very boring in
Yeah.
terms of their design.
Actually, when I put it that way, this character's actually kind of low, isn't she?
Yeah, because like they didn't do anything with because Sheik doesn't do anything, so they
Right.
didn't have anything to pull from.
So they just, but like if they were going to pull something, they could have done like, I don't know, like she could have used Deku Nuts to freeze people, or there's a bunch of items in Ocarina of Time that they could pull from.
Right, like if they were gonna do something, they could have just done something from the game. Like it wouldn't have
Right.
been something that Sheik did, but it would have at least been something from the game.
Mm-hmm.
Sheik is just basic ninja character for the sake of being a basic ninja character.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. They could have pulled from a lot more. That's for sure.
Yeah, and even then, if they wanted to follow the ninja aspect, I don't think she's in the game, but they could have used some of like the mechanics that the what was the name? The like Yiga clan from
The Yiga
Breath of
clan.
the Wild.
Yeah, I
but
mean,
Sheik wasn't in Breath of the Wild.
yeah, she's only in Ocarina of Time.
Well, no,
That
I'm
being,
just
that being
saying if they
said,
wanted to,
like if they wanted to copy some of the moves just to like represent something, I guess.
yeah,
so.
if they wanted to push her more ninja wise, I mean, they have
I mean,
their
they
own
totally
ninjas in another
could've.
game that they could take.
They totally could have, because Sheik's design in Ultimate is like the actual like character design is based on the Sheik costume from Breath of the Wild.
Right. Yeah,
So
I don't
like
know.
they easily could have just made her just like Yiga clan member number 3, you know?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't really have much.
Could have straight up just replaced her with Master Koga, honestly.
I guess no. She probably
That's
is
the
just
character I
boring.
want.
Me too. She probably is just boring. Did they even try a little bit mean? She does still have like a unique move set. I guess. Is this spot fine?
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Feel free to fight me if I'm not doing the right one, please.
No,
I
I
don't
think
know
it's
if it's
fine.
what I didn't
think
even
it's
play
fine.
Ocarina.
Fair enough. Alright, well, base Zelda. Blow up in terms of her ultimate model design. I love it. I hated the Twilight Princess Zelda.
The
See,
thing
I
is,
like
like,
the Twilight Princess.
What? This one's so much
it
cuter.
might just be, it might just be like recency stuff. But like when I think of Zelda, I truly do think of like Breath of the Wild Zelda, honestly.
Well, that's fair. That being said, I do think the Zelda design makes sense because this is a Zelda that's a little bit more active.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that this is the one they're using for battling.
Yeah, and Sakurai did say like when they revealed Ultimate, like they used this design because Breath of the Wild Zelda is more like a researcher.
Exactly. Yeah. Like she doesn't.
Which I get. Which I get. I do like how all the character designs come from different games. Like it's not like
Yeah.
just
See
Twilight
the
Princess
designs
anymore.
themselves actually they do show off a lot of different Zelda games through the designs.
Right.
But not the moves.
Hot take, and this hot take that doesn't change anything about the actual character. If they wanted to pick a Zelda like a Zelda design of a Zelda who fights, I still think the best Zelda design, the best character designs for literally every Zelda character come from Hyrule Warriors.
I see. I mean, the problem with Hyrule Warriors is that it's still a spin-off, and it's not like as popular as the Zelda games.
Right.
So that's always not.
But I'm just saying, I just love those designs, and I really would have wanted to see them in Smash.
As a skin,
Like,
at the very least, I don't think it could ever be the main.
Scarf.
I don't think it could ever be the main, but as a skin, absolutely.
Oh yeah, I just want Link with a big ass blue scarf, honestly.
That'd be sick. Anyway,
It looked so good.
that being said, I actually wonder. I think Zelda might actually have the most creative moveset out of all the Zelda characters.
She definitely does.
She has Din's Fire. She has Nehru. I mean, is it Nehru's something? Whatever her up B.
Yeah, I'm looking at it here.
Ferrari's Wind, something like that.
Yeah, the up B is Nehru's Love. The side B is Din's Fire. The neutral B is Nehru's Love. The up B is Ferrari's Wind, and
damn, I actually got
the
those
down
names.
B.
That's crazy.
The down B is Phantom Slash, which is
I mean,
Spirit Tracks.
Honestly, all these moves,
which is honestly insane. I did not think they'd ever like
that is crazy.
Spirit Tracks with a 10-foot pole, you know.
But at the end of the day, all of her specials represent something, right, from a different Zelda game.
Right, they're most taken from like Ocarina of Time, really.
Which is fine, but they're as long as they are all moves from a game, it's fine. And let's be real, Ocarina of Time is the most popular Zelda game, so whatever.
Yeah, well, I mean Breath of the Wild, but
that's true. But
that
being said, theoretically, they should have done all the Breath of the Wild stuff with Link. Whatever. Anyway.
True, but Zelda's whole thing is like she's like a mage, you know, like she's like she uses magic.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were going to make a Zelda a moveset for Zelda, it would have to be like based around magic. The problem is in most of her appearances, even though like she's known for her magic, she doesn't really use it.
It's true. She actually, hot take, I feel like Zelda's more useless than Peach, which a lot of people would hate to hear. But Zelda doesn't really do much.
Right. So like I feel like the biggest blunder for Zelda's entire moveset is her final smash. Because it could have just been Link's final smash, but just changed the ancient arrows to the guardian arrow, or the guardian arrow, fucking ancient arrows to the light arrows, because she actually uses the light arrows.
Is that not her? Wait, is that? Oh, that's right. She has the Triforce thing.
Yeah. So because like I'm thinking like in Wind Waker, she uses the light arrows to help Toon Link beat Ganondorf.
Right. That being said, I think either is fine. I wouldn't really hurt her for her new Final Smash. I mean, it's obviously displaying that she has 1/3 of the Triforce.
Right.
It's fine. I think either is fine. Um, I actually think this spot makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, genuinely the best represented Zelda character in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, it's just good. She again, all of her special moves are good. Kind of like Yoshi. She feels like Yoshi to me. All of her moves are fitting, and they clearly like the thing with Yoshi. Why I think Yoshi's higher is because obviously you play as Yoshi, so there's a bias there. And Yoshi actually feels like he's taken straight out of his game. Zelda is not. Like Zelda obviously is a lot of like take my word for it type beat. Like this is how it would work. But at the end of the day, they're all clearly referencing something from the game. So.
Right, and it's like, yeah, she doesn't do this stuff, but like she totally could.
Yeah. No, I think that's fair. I absolutely think that's fair. I mean, obviously, if Link can use these spells, then Zelda definitely could, right? So.
Yeah, definitely. But also it's like Link doesn't have a lot of magic stuff in his moveset, if anything, honestly.
There's also a missed opportunity, but whatever.
I don't think it's a missed opportunity because Zelda is a character. Zelda is a series that, like, at least like older Zelda games, is like the items are like the big gameplay thing.
No, it's true. It's true.
So if you're playing as Link, he would like, I would rather Link be like based on his items and Zelda be based on the magic.
No, I agree, and that's what they did. So shout outs.
Which is fine. It's just the items that they gave Link suck.
Yeah, I'm just a Link hater. That's okay, but
True.
But yeah, I think Zelda's good. I think that she feels similarly to Yoshi. It's just obviously like you don't play as Zelda, so a little harder to give an exact like. All right, y'all agree with this placement, right?
Yeah.
Dr. Mario, did they even try?
Pichu, personally, I would say
just move right past Dr. Mario. Listen, I have an argument for Dr. Mario. All right.
He throws pills. Insane.
Okay, well, what is it? Okay, but hear me out. What is the one thing Dr. Mario does in his games?
Throw pills.
He stands on the side and he throws pills.
They freaking cooked.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Okay, listen. Again. Well, no. You know what? You know what? No. This is going to be below every single other character in the game. You know why? Because they didn't even make him an Echo. That pisses me off. He's so clearly Mario. He's not even an Echo.
Listen. He's so different from Mario. You have to realize his PhD, the weight of his shooting debt.
He's the exact same moveset, and you're going to act like he's not even an Echo. The exact same moveset.
Nah, man.
He's got a different downbeat. Insane.
Listen. No. He's heavier and he hits harder, man. It's the weight of that student debt.
The weight of the student debt. That's actually mad funny. I don't know. Okay, the thing with Dr. Mario, like, Daisy is representing something. Even if it's representing Peach. What is Dr. Mario really representing? If he's gonna actually have a moveset,
the fact that he saves lives. The fact that he looks different in this game. He lost the hat, got a coat, something stethoscope, you know.
If they're gonna make a Dr. Mario related moveset, they could have done something. Okay, they really should have just not even made this character. I'll be real. But
genuinely.
But if they were forced to make a Dr. Mario character, I don't know, man. They could have done something. Maybe his grab puts him right in the Tetris block thing.
Bro, his grab gives you Corona.
Listen. If you want to move him up, fine. I just want to put him in the bottom.
No, he's right where he needs to be.
All right.
All I'm trying to say is his final smash should have just given you like a Corona vaccine, and then you immediately die afterwards.
Mm-hmm. That would have been great, actually. All right, Dom, what were you saying about Dr. Mario?
Eradicate him from the game and life.
True. I mean, the problem is that like with this character, I would rank him lower just because it was a stupid decision to put him in the game. At least with Ice Climbers, you're representing like a different IP. And you know, back then, I get it, right? Like in Melee, like there wasn't that many Nintendo IPs to take from. Back then, they didn't do cross-platform either. So I get why they included Ice Climbers, right? It's a legacy character, right? Ice Climbers,
but every Smash game has like its legacy character. Like it was Captain Falcon for Smash 64, Ice Climbers for Melee. For Brawl, it was Pit, and for Smash 4, it was like Duck Hunt.
Yep. And
like every game has like its classic character.
Dr. Mario is just dumb. They shouldn't have done it. They already have plenty of Mario characters. It's stupid. So put him at the bottom. There was no point. Pichu. So Pichu's a very weird case. So I'd also like to mention, by the way, this isn't relevant to the list, but there was another commenter that said, I assume you just don't know Pokemon very well with the way you were describing them. Which is just really funny to me.
If they were talking about me, yeah.
That was so funny to me. I played more Pokemon than any series on this entire like roster.
And my Pokemon knowledge does not extend past Gen 3.
I mean, I'm actually wearing a Pokemon shirt right now. Actually, that's kind of funny.
That's crazy, dude.
But yeah, I'm very knowledgeable about Pokemon. I'm way too nerdy about it. Anyway, the weird thing about Pichu here is it makes sense that he has Pikachu's same moveset, so I'm actually not going to fight him for that. It's the pre-evolution. It makes sense, right? But it's weird, right? Because if we're talking about them representing their own games, Pichu is only weaker than Pikachu. Whereas in Smash, you know, they took the creative liberty of making him stronger, but he takes damage over time, right?
Right.
Obviously, that makes more sense from a balancing standpoint. So, should we count that against Pichu? Because technically he should be weaker, or should we just ignore that?
I think the balance of a character could be ignored because, like, if we're talking, like, how powerful a character is in their original game, Kirby is, like, the most powerful being, period.
Right. Sure.
And in Smash, Kirby's, like...
Yeah, I guess if you're talking about pure power,
mid-tier character at best.
Yeah,
like,
no,
I think the balance should be thrown
just
out the
ignore
window
it. That's
for this.
fine.
It's just like how the character is designed.
Right. So, what I will say, I think in that case, it has to be at least above Pikachu. Because they are representing Pichu from the anime. So, with him taking damage on himself. So, in the specials for the Pokemon anime movies, there's like these little Pikachu shorts that they show, or Pichu shorts, and in those there's like these Pichu brothers, and they like hurt themselves whenever they use electric type attacks, and that's what those are based off of. I think this is the only character that self-damages them for all their attacks.
It's not all of their attacks; it's only any electric type attack.
Exactly, and that's how it is in the little shorts for the movies.
Right. The only other character I think that hurts themselves in confusion is Charizard when you do their side beat.
Right, but that's a recoil move, so that makes a lot of sense.
Right.
Great move, by the way. I'm glad they added that. Okay. With Pichu, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I could actually even see him going to bottom of good just for that mechanic alone. I mean, again, like Ice Climbers, that does absolutely carry. Like, it's a unique mechanic.
It does carry. I don't think it's moving enough to carry it out of mid, personally.
You're probably right. It probably would have been better. Here's another thing for Pichu. This is a very nerdy thing about Pokemon, but so Pikachu's, like, what everybody knows is Pikachu's signature attack, Volt Tackle. Is Volt Tackle his final smash for Pikachu and Pichu, or is that just like a what is that attack called?
Let me check the move list in the game. Let me see exactly what they call it, because I do have the game pulled up.
While he does that,
the move list calls it Volt Tackle.
Okay, you know what? Fair enough then. If his final smash is Volt Tackle, fine. But I would argue Pichu should have one of his special attacks just be Volt Tackle, like as a move. because how Pikachu learns Volt Tackle is not by level up. It's not by tutor. It's as an egg move.
Right.
So the fact that it's an egg move, it needs to be breeded onto a Pichu. I think it makes sense that Pichu is the one that actually has Volt Tackle as one of his special moves.
Right, and there's a common theory that the Pikachu in Smash is an evolved Pichu.
It's true. I mean, it has to be if it knows Volt Tackle at the end of the day.
Right.
Anyway, yeah, I think that right above Pikachu is fine. I mean, obviously they're very similar. They show off the same moves. It's just the self-damaging aspect is a good enough reference, I think, to bring him at least to mid.
Right.
Do you think he should be lowered down?
No, I don't think he deserves to be at the bottom, but I would put them next to each other. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah. I just think Pichu, the fact his moves are the same as Pikachu doesn't matter for this character because it makes sense, right? I'm gonna say the same thing for Lucina whenever we finally get to them. But it makes sense in this case.
I did not know Lucina had shooters like that, man.
Rude. Okay, Falco. So again, like Fox, most people only know Falco because of Smash. That being said, Falco does actually have a personality in F-Zero, like a very clear personality, like just
he's more cocky than Fox is.
That being said, they represent that very well in Smash. His taunts. I know we don't talk much about his taunts, but my man says, "Hands off my cock." Let me stop. No, I don't know. He does definitely show that cocky attitude in his taunts, and just with the way that he attacks, like his down B, the fact that he throws his shield, he's trying to like be stylish, right?
Right. They show off his personality well, and it's the same thing with like Daisy, where like they show off her personality well because she's a lot more energetic in her animations and her taunts and her voice acting. But again, it's like it's still nothing like the actual attacks and stuff like that don't come from the game. It's literally just Fox again.
Yeah.
But just a little more stylish.
Right. It is. It is definitely just Fox again. In the game later.
But I would consider putting them about this, maybe top of boring, because even though like they do represent like his personality very well, it's just Fox again. So I can't see it being higher than Fox.
That's fair. What do you think, Dom? I'm just gonna match what y'all think. I'm a little conflicted.
I agree with what he said. I mean, again, I haven't really played the games of those two, but they basically are just another pair of Echo Fighters with a very tiny bit of change. Mainly, the attitude and then like two moves.
That being said,
They made
all
like,
their
they
moves.
made
This is a Lucas
I'm
Ness
gonna let you
situation, though. This is a Luke Ness situation, though. All their moves do act very differently from each other. Like, they look the same, but they definitely all act very differently.
Yeah, like, I believe Falco's side B, it spikes you if you get caught in it, while Fox is just, like, launches you. So, like, they do have, like, their own, like...
Again, it's like Lucas and Ness. They actually do play very differently.
Yeah, but also, like, Falco is a bird, while Fox is a fox. And they do represent that kind of well, like, where, like, Falco is a lot more floaty, a lot slower than Fox, because he's a bird. So he should be able to get more height out of his jumps. He should be able to be a little more floaty.
I was going to put him here, but if y'all both say boring, then that's fine.
I'm mostly saying boring just because the moveset is the same, even if it acts a little different.
Okay. You also agree with that, Dom?
Yeah.
I guess we could just put him right there then. I mean,
I don't know what else they would do for him at the same time. So.
Exactly. Right. Again, these characters that are basically Smash characters are very hard to represent. Like, they're very hard to talk about. There isn't that much discussion here. It's just that's how he feels.
Right.
Marth. So, first of a million Fire Emblem characters. So, this is another character I would have put in Smash made this character. Well, maybe not as much, but okay. So obviously, this is the Fire Emblem rep. This is the Fire Emblem character. I am not against him being just a basic sword fighter. First of all, compared to Link, you know, his entire moveset's based on sword wielding, right? Rather than a bunch of like different projectiles and stuff. Like Link is definitely more of a projectile character than he is a sword fighter, I would say. And Marth, especially at the time, when they were making Melee, like he was actually the only just like pure sword fighter, I would say.
Right. Him and Roy.
Yeah, that's true. So I don't know. I am not against Marth. The thing with Fire Emblem is that most of the time they just use their own specific weapon. And there isn't that much, you know, it's a strategy RPG, right? The gameplay is based on making decisions. It's not based on how you attack. So, like, the only major difference is you attacking or you getting a crit. And their crit is already their Final Smash. Which makes a lot of sense, by the way. I think if any character is going to have a critical hit as a Final Smash, Fire Emblem makes a ton of sense. Actually, one of the most accurate Final Smashes in the game. As normal as it sounds, I can tell you as a Fire Emblem fan, like, critical hits in Fire Emblem do like 4 times the damage. Like, it's not just 2 times. It's actually insane. And you can make critical hit builds and stuff.
And I'm pretty sure the Final Smash is literally like a one-hit kill.
It is. I mean,
anywhere on
in
the stage.
Fire Emblem, when you get a critical hit, you almost always one-shot the opponent. It's pretty consistent.
Yeah, like I'm testing it out now. Like from 0, like from center stage on Final Destination, it does 72% and just launches you off the stage.
Yeah, I mean yeah. So Final Smash definitely carries quite a bit. Again, but like, there's not much else they could do. Just make him a normal sword fighter. That's kind of what he has to do. I think this is a mid situation where they did the bare minimum. Like, they did what they had to. I should say. I don't think, like, boring as they did the bare minimum. Mid, I feel like they did what they could, right? Like, this is like Jigglypuff.
They did what they could. There isn't really much more they could have done, just because, one, it's Fire Emblem, so there isn't really like like there's attacks, but like there isn't like different attacks. It's just whatever weapon you have. Mm-hmm. And also, it was the first Fire Emblem game. It was an NES game. Right.
Yeah. So with that Fire Emblem game that Marth is in, particularly, there actually just is not that many mechanics to pull from for moves. So him just being a basic sword character and all of his moves are just slashes, I think is fine. Counters are also a thing, which makes a lot of sense. I mean, counters for Marth especially, it just makes sense in Fire Emblem. That's an actual move, so.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, like middle of mid makes sense, just because it's what else could they have done?
I put Jigglypuff above just because Jigglypuff sing and the balloon aspect of Jigglypuff I think is very well represented.
Yeah, like they actually had stuff to pull from, and then they pulled that stuff.
Whereas Marth, they didn't have anything, and they just did what they could, right?
Right.
All right. So, and you agree with that, right, Dom?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
yes.
Again, I think I only played like one Fire Emblem, and it's definitely not the one with Marth.
No, I mean, I didn't even play the one with Marth, but I can tell you right now, there isn't much to pull from that first Fire Emblem game.
I have the first Fire Emblem game when they released it, like digitally on the Switch. I haven't played it yet.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. So Lucina. Lucina. So this is like one of the only Echo fighters I would not put in Did They Even Try? Because, like, for anyone who doesn't know, in Fire Emblem Awakening, this character came from, she literally acts as if she's Marth. Like, she parades as Marth.
She commits full-on identity theft. She steals his stove.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like,
So because she literally, like, specifically acts like she's Marth, like she's trying to identity thief Marth, I think it makes sense that she's an echo of Marth. I mean, it's hard to argue that, right?
like it's like she quite literally is like exactly Marth. The only thing that is different is I believe Marth does more damage. I think it's hit at the base of his sword or
No,
at
it's
the
at the
tip
tip.
of his sword,
It's the tipper.
and then like Lucina just does the same damage throughout
Right.
the entire sword.
Um,
That's really the only difference between them. They have the exact same everything.
So maybe you could make the argument. The thing is with Lucina, though, is that Lucina did have more to pull from in Awakening. They just went all in on the Echo aspect.
Right, the fact that like she tried to like parade around as Marth.
Yeah, she doesn't have a skin based around that, which is annoying. I don't know if we would count that, but whatever. And there are more mechanics in Awakening they could have pulled from, like the team up mechanic. Maybe she could have showed off more of the party members from Awakening. I don't know. So maybe below, but I could also technically see right above Marth, just because like the idea is there, but I mean it is still exactly Marth's moveset, so it feels a little wrong to put her above, right?
Right.
Unless y'all think it doesn't matter, like she's an Echo, it should go lower. Hello?
Hi, I just died for a second. I just disconnected for a second.
You're good. Do you think Lucina should go in a lower tier because that's exactly Marth's moveset, or do you think it's fair to put her right next to him?
Again, it's like the idea they were going for, how they were trying to represent the character. They were trying to represent her as like someone who was trying to be Marth. So I think that's fine, just for her to be essentially the same, even if there were other things they could have pulled from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because Awakening has 3 characters in the game, including in 3 characters in Smash, including Robin,
mm-hmm.
who has that team up mechanic like you were saying, but they were also has their own magic stuff.
Right. Okay, whatever. Let's just do that. There isn't much to say about Lucina.
Right.
Young Lonk. Another Link. Give me a Link in every single part. Okay, so the thing with Young Link is Young Link might have had the most, but well, no, technically Breath of the Wild Link had the most potential. They all have a ton of
Breath
potential.
of the Wild had more potential, but
Young Link could have done an entire Majora's Mask.
Of time.
He could have done
Had
an
all
entire
Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask to pull from, and they didn't do that.
Bro,
They just made him Link. The only difference is he has fire arrows, and he's a little lighter.
I see the entire
Faster.
world where Young Link could be They Cooked. All right, he can switch through all of his masks, have different move sets for all the different forms. That card would be hype, and it's not even that far fetched to think like that, because come on, man. That way you're representing the different races of Ocarina of Time, right? And Majora's Mask.
Yeah, the up B could have easily been the Deku bulb that you go in and you shoot out and you have the little paraglider thing. The side B could have easily been a Goron, just rolling as a Goron. Stuff like that.
Or using the boomerang as Zora, because that's what you're doing in Majora's Mask. That's basically the boomerang. I mean, I would say it has to be a transformation type beat or a meter, and then you actually transform into that, because I don't really see him quickly transforming, because Majora's Mask is a slow thing. It's a transformation.
Right. I forget who said this, but I was watching a video of people missed opportunities in Smash. I forget who made it. But they mentioned they could just do a visual thing where the mask just appears on Link's face as he's doing the attack.
Right.
Just so it's not clunky and just a long animation.
I can see it. But yeah,
and obviously the big one is the Fierce Deity mask.
Yeah, so Fierce Deity,
because
no
what
matter
the hell
what,
is his actual Final Smash?
No matter what, Fierce Deity absolutely would have been the best Final Smash in the game. They just had to do it, and they didn't. That pisses me off. Like, why?
Like,
Young
what
Link
this
is the
Final
one
Smash
that
thing
uses
from?
Fierce Deity. Like, Dom, I don't think you've played Majora's Mask. Young Link, you only play as Young Link in Majora. And Fierce Deity is from Majora's Mask. And they clearly like Fierce Deity because it's a skin. So I don't know why they didn't just use it as the Final Smash. Whatever.
I'm pretty
Like,
sure it's only a skin for regular Link.
yeah.
Which is stupid. Like, oh my god, Young Link's a character, bro. Whatever.
You saying you don't like Link?
Young Link has a Dark Link skin though.
Who cares? That doesn't even mean anything. That actually just doesn't even mean anything. Alright, whatever. Freaking, I think, the thing is, okay, Young Link does have fire arrows. That's like the one saving
Yo, he
grace.
has fire arrows, man.
That's like his only saving grace. He does get fire arrows in Majora's, like, as, like, really early, too. Hello, everybody. Brief intermission here to say that, unfortunately, the rest of my audio for this recording is very choppy and just glitching out a lot. I was having a lot of technical difficulties recording this video beforehand, and unfortunately, towards the latter half of this video, it did start acting up again. So I greatly apologize. Thankfully, we did get through most of the more relevant characters in this video. The only like major relevant character I think in our discussions is the final character that we do with this video. And thankfully, Jeno mostly carries that discussion as well. So at least there's that. Again, I greatly apologize about this. So, you know, I hope you still enjoy the rest of the video, and we will absolutely make sure that the audio glitches don't happen for the future. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy. I don't freaking know. Everything else is so bland. The thing is that if I would be okay with Young Link's moveset if Breath of the Wild Link was Breath of the Wild Link. Like, Young Link gets hurt by the context of there being 3 Links all having the same set. I think collectively they all have to be low because of that. I'm okay with Young Link's moveset if he was the only one that had it, but he so.
Right.
So I
think Young Link has to be like boring.
Is it? It wouldn't be a did they?
No, I think it has to be boring.
But did they even?
I mean, he has fire arrows, man.
About him.
He has fire arrows.
I mean, he has, boomerang.
It's just
That's
like
from the game. The problem with Young Link is that they.
it's literally just context. All right, the moveset would be
Right.
absolutely fine if the other links did not also have them.
Well, here's the thing. I think Young Link's moveset would be fine if Majora's Mask didn't exist. If it was just Young Link from Ocarina of Time.
That's also fair.
But because Majora's Mask exists, because this potential exists, it is boring as all hell.
It is a ton of potential. Actually is. Honestly, he actually has more potential than Breath of the Wild. I actually think he does. The masks give him so much potential. Again, he could have a meter.
Also, one thing I do want to mention about Breath of the Wild Link, just while we're on the topic of a Link, some characters in Smash have the ability to wall jump or like cling to a wall. Breath of the Wild Link doesn't, and that's such a missed opportunity because climbing is such a huge thing in that game.
For real, honestly, did they even try?
That's so true.
I don't know. I'll put him.
I'd say boring, honestly.
But where in boring?
Where in boring is a great question. Between between Luigi and Samus, I think is right.
Where would you put him?
I was gonna say either before them or after them.
Like either between Link and Mario or between Luigi and Samus.
This is fine. Let's just see. I mean, he has, again, these moves are like, yes, he's representing Zelda, but it's just because they knew they were gonna have 3 Links, and they just squandered it. They could have represented so.
Right.
But, Ganondorf. Shoot. No, I still think. Ganondorf still is suffering a lot. Ganondorf's a lot better than he was in Smash 4. If this is Smash 4, it'd be a did they even try. But...
100%.
But
the fact that they added the sword is insane.
the sword actually is a massive change for Ganondorf.
Even though he never actually uses it in the game.
So there absolutely is still, like, isms of from when he was a Captain Falcon clone. Because he was a slow version of Captain Falcon.
Warlock kick.
Yeah, Warlock punch, Warlock kick. It's very obviously Captain Falcon. Very slow.
Right.
That being said, again, the sword absolutely does carry that much.
It really does, but I don't think it saves it.
You think he's still boring? I was gonna put him in mid.
Well, because here's the thing. Link is in mid. Sorry, Link is in boring.
Yeah, I think Link has way more potential than Ganon.
But is Link is Ganondorf a better representation of than Link?
The thing is with Ganondorf, they're specifically doing Ocarina of Time Ganon. As long as he has the swords, I guess there's some things. I guess his special moves are what really...
Like, one of the big things in a lot of Ganondorf fights is the fact that he like shoots like an energy ball and you play tennis with it.
Yeah.
Why is that not part of his moveset?
That actually
Why does he not have a projectile like that?
And you could hit it back, kind of like DD.
Yep.
Yeah, I could actually see that. He could absolutely just like fly for his, but whatever.
Give him the peach glide.
Yeah, again, the fact that his moves are like his special moves are one copied Captain Falcon is definitely a huge. It's just maybe I'm just like a little biased because I love the fact that they added. But I guess with context that he would have been, did they? I guess boring.
The swords save him enough to not be. Did you even try? But like, I don't think he's breaking out of mid.
You think he could be mid though, or is that a high bar?
I'm sorry, breaking out of boring. Sorry, is what I meant.
But the swords. I mean, you are right. All of his moves being Captain Falcon. I think that's like low end boring too.
Yes.
Yeah, honestly.
Than Bowser.
Yes.
I don't think so. I think Ganondorf's better than Bowser. All Bowser has is a fire breath attack that barely represents. And down
See,
B.
the thing is, what else would he even have?
What else would Ganondorf even have? I mean, yeah, the ball thing is fair.
Like, they revamped Link with the Breath of the Wild. They could have done with Ganon.
But they did, though. He has swords!
Well, considering this is Ganondorf and not like Beast Ganon, they really couldn't have taken anything from Breath of the Wild because it's Ganondorf, not like Beast Ganon.
Man, I just want his skin in the new game, man.
I feel like I'm pretty adamant that he's above Bowser, though. Is that bad?
I mean,
the swords! Okay, here's the difference, right? Ganondorf, if you count all the smash attacks, that's 3 attacks. Alright? Bowser has 2.
That use the sword. That use the sword that he doesn't use in Ocarina.
Okay.
He has it, but he doesn't use it.
But it's old. I actually. Okay. What is the only other character we've said has good smash? Yes. No other
Peach.
character has had good smash attacks. I guess Peach is also in good. No character below good has really cool smash attacks besides Ganondorf with his swords.
I mean, we haven't gotten to Little Mac yet, so
That's also fair.
Are y'all both saying he should be below Bowser?
I think he should.
You too, Dom?
Oh god, it's like. See, I think the only reason I put him below Bowser is because, yeah, they didn't really do much with Bowser. However, the moves they gave him, I still like. Ganon is just like still almost Captain Falcon.
You're not wrong. I actually think that was a good argument. Bowser
Like,
doesn't
Bowser-
copy another character.
Like, Bowser is still very much Bowser.
Yeah.
Whatever,
Like-
man.
like-
Fine.
Like when I think of Ganondorf, I think of big, brooding, not moving much, and still beating your ass. You know what I'm saying?
Fine. You're right. All right, Mewtwo. Mewtwo's very floaty. Mewtwo has Shadow Ball, like Shonen strikes back. That's cool. I feel like he could have had more. He has Shadow Ball. He has Disable. He has I don't know what his side B is. Something.
Move list says his side B is Confusion.
Yeah, it was like effect and then it like spun the character if you got close enough, I think.
The thing is with Mewtwo is that, like, I get it that he's a psychic type, and like might be like a little axe, but like, I don't know. I don't even know what they would do, because like most psychic types in Pokemon are literally just like throw Pokemon across field into a ball. Like that's the idea, right? But like, how do you do that?
That's literally what Smash is. You're just trying to throw someone across the field.
True. But like, how do you do that as an attack? Because like, I'm talking like you literally pick them up and then throw them with psychic energy.
I mean that's literally his back throw.
That's true. That's a cool ass back.
It is.
I guess he's fine. He's still representing move. Confusion's a move.
Yeah.
Disable's a move. Shadow Ball's a move.
His final smash is Mega Mewtwo Y.
Is up B literally teleport
Yes, his up B is literally teleport.
or move? I feel like if all your specials represent something from the game, no matter what, it's got to be at least move.
Right, and that's what I was saying before about like I think almost all the Pokemon characters are going to be mid. It's because a lot, like, even if every single move they have is like based on something in Pokemon, the interpretations of them are going to be completely original because Pokemon doesn't really have attack animations.
That being said, like I feel like Mewtwo also has benefit because he copies a lot from the Mewtwo movie.
Yeah. Pokemon have the advantage. Pokemon characters have the advantage of they actually get to take stuff that's not from the games. They take stuff from like movies and anime.
Yeah, but Mewtwo's the only one that actually acts on it. Well, him and Pichu.
Lucario was literally from the anime.
I don't know. To be fair, good's probably too high, right? I think he should just be at the top of mid.
Yeah, I think top of mid, like above all the other Pokemon.
Yeah, I just don't really have much feeling. I just feel like they could have done more for Mewtwo. I actually feel like Mewtwo, like, yes, all of his moves do represent, but he actually just feels a little boring for me. Is that, like, not a good criteria to justify?
Well, I mean, like, what else could Mewtwo do, like, in a fighting game, like Smash? Like what? Like, if you can think of something, like, what is it?
Just more psychic energy based stuff.
Well,
don't
I
know.
mean, all of his like neutrals like have like his neutral air is like I guess electric, but like I guess you can call it psychic. His like his up smash has like all of his smash attacks have like blasts of like, you know, energy. Like, all of his other attacks have like energy based stuff. Like some of it like his dash attack has like has energy stuff. Like his down tilt like uses his tail, like he uses his tail in a lot of his attacks to swipe you.
Mewtwo's fine at the top of mid. I don't know. I feel like there could be more. You said that. That's fine. Roy.
He he definitely is Roy.
Roy's our boy. Roy's our boy.
True. You know, they cooked for that chant, you know.
It's funny. So I actually have played Roy's. It was never released.
One of them was, one of them wasn't.
That's very debatable. Second one that he technically.
That's also true.
Anyways, thing with Roy. I mean, he does use fire aspects, which I think helps a lot. He is the binding.
It's a lot more flashy. It's a lot more flashy than Marth stuff, but it's still just Marth stuff.
He does utilize fire magic, which he does in the game. And I think that's pretty cool. And, you know, but at the same time, like, sword fighter. But he adds it, just like in Binding Blade, that's what he does. He applies fire to his attack, and his specific critical hit is directly taken from, like where he does like this sword, like the pullback and then the fire blast at the end.
Yeah, the actual animation. Yeah.
Sure. I think you could just put I mean, it's just he's a sword character. I mean, this is one of those cases. Okay, no, he's not good. I was thinking about good. He is still just a lot of the same. I think he's quite a bit better than Marth.
Yeah.
Like top.
I guess, yeah, top of mid.
I don't like how much
Because, like,
mid there is.
There's
so much
mean,
mid.
hey, it's just like the game, you know.
It's not. My man really just said Melee was mid.
There goes all my credibility.
Yeah. They're just.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, in his game, he applies fire magic to his sword, and that's what he does in Smash.
That's fine. There really just isn't even that much to talk about. There's no reason.
Yeah.
Chrom. I mean, he's an echo of Roy. One of the better echoes. He has a big. Still.
He's like a mix of Ike and Roy.
But
how well does that show, like, how well does that represent him from like Awakening?
not really at all. Chrom Chrom is a popular character. He doesn't like have any use to set him aside.
Right. I think the whole reason they just added him was because he was a popular character.
Yeah, I mean everybody loved Chrom. When Robin was added,
They wanted to put him.
They wanted
They
Chrom.
put him in as they put him in as the team up Final Smash.
but people were mad because of Chrom. Chrom. Echo.
The one time people wanted a Fire Emblem character.
I know. And no, he's very basic. I actually wonder. I mean, the up B is fair, but like, I don't know. I think it's also fair to say far into Smash and you're still making fighters.
Right.
This is one. Put a fire character just out.
Because I mean they really didn't. Like everything he has comes from another character.
That being said, I mean, the up B carries him above the other.
Not all the other echoes, but yeah.
I feel like Donkey Kong feels off.
Well,
Donkey Kong-
they even try.
Donkey Kong feels so much better than.
I mean, it's kind of funny.
It's kind of funny. Fair.
And I mean, in Smash, he's kind of portrayed as like the goofy monkey.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a lame. Oh wait, no, Game & Watch is in Melee, isn't he?
Yes, and Game & Watch is in Melee.
I thought Game & Watch.
And,
Oh.
and I'm gonna say it. They cooked. I truly believe they cooked.
I think so too. All right, good. Okay, I'm glad. I thought we were ending on such a basic ass.
No. Game & Watch, man, they cooked. They cooked.
They really did. Okay, so Game & Watch. I'm glad you said this too. Somebody commented this. Game & Watch, especially in Ultimate, they cooked. Every single one of his attacks actually is a different game. Nobody on Earth at this point have played Game & Watch games.
I have played a number of Game & Watch games.
All right, then go ham, bro. Talk about Game & Watch and why.
No, well, so here's the thing. If this was Smash 4, I'd put him in like, not in mid, but like right above, like top of mid, bottom of good, type area. But like in Ultimate, it's a very small detail, but during specific attacks, he gets like the designs of the characters from those Game & Watch games. And I think that's just really neat attention to detail that like no other character has.
It is very neat attention.
And like you said, literally every single frame of Game & Watch's animation comes from a Game & Watch game.
Right. I mean, it really does.
Like,
It
sounds
sounds silly. It probably sounds silly.
Quite literally cooked with this character.
It sounds silly to put him like up here with Kirby, just because obviously Kirby. But like obviously Kirby's mechanic is a lot stronger, but Game & Watch, like all of his moves represent like every single one. His aerials. Have we even mentioned aerials for any character at this point?
I haven't mentioned aerials, but I've mentioned like neutral attacks, like their standard attacks that aren't like their special attacks. I've been bringing some of them up because some of them do, reminisce, like reference other things in their games. But like Game & Watch is a special because like Game & Watch they are like specifically like
they are the games
from the games. Like
they are them, like exactly the game that they came from. Exact same sprites.
Game & Watch doesn't have Game & Watch does not have a single move that's a basic like punch kick combo. Like even his jab is taken from a Game & Watch title.
Yeah, I mean, okay, but as I was saying about the aerials, like up air is freaking the pump And again, his
The
sprite
bomb-
changes.
The forward
Like,
air, the forward
every
air is the
si-
bomb. His sprite doesn't change with the bomb, but he does have the bomb.
He has the bomb.
His back
right?
air is the fish.
Like,
His down air is the key.
hello? All these different things. Like, it's cool, right?
His smash attack is like a torch from that one. I think I'm gonna like name off all the games. I'm not going to.
I don't know any of them. I have yet to ever play a Game & Watch, but I can just tell every single move. Like, is there a move where he just does nothing? I don't think there's a single nothing burger. Even Kirby has nothing burger.
His dash attack is like he just face plants, but I'm still pretty sure that's from a game.
That probably is from a game, I would bet. He has the chair. I know what that's from, the police guy.
Yep. Down tilt is like the little tray, and his animation changes.
Yeah,
His entire model changes for the pump, which is just his jab.
You know what's crazy is that Game & Watch. Wait, is Game & Watch comparable to? No, Game & Watch is not comparable. I don't know.
No.
Actually, I'm absolutely true. I just meant from the context of having every single one of his moves means something. Because I think they do. I think every single move of Game & Watch's aerials, neutral attacks, special attacks.
I'm messing around with the Game & Watch right now in the game. I cannot find a single attack that isn't like something from a Game & Watch game.
Every single, like, keep that in mind. Every single character we've mentioned thus far has yet to have a full sweep of all their moves reference something.
Even
Even Kirby.
The final smash is just the octopus from Octopus.
Every single move. So is every single move being a reference better than copy ability?
I'd argue yes, because of the sole fact that yes, Kirby has like 80 moves that are references to other characters, while Game & Watch has every move that's a reference to the series of Game & Watch games. Like the copy ability, that's Kirby, but the actual attacks you get out of the copy abilities are from other characters.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, without copy ability, well, to be fair, without copy ability, without any reference to copy ability, he'd probably just be boring.
Right, copy ability carries Kirby.
But let's say he only had suck up, right? I'd say he'd be mid with his moveset.
Right, copy ability carries.
The copy ability is the only reason he's in the code. He would not be good without copy. He just wouldn't.
Because they quite literally cooked with that one. Like the ability to take
as a mechanic,
an ability from another character, it's an insane mechanic.
The copy ability mechanic is probably the second most involved mechanic.
The only thing higher being Steve's placing blocks.
Yeah.
I don't know. Donkey Konga was pretty good.
Donkey Kong, it's not even in this game. It's not in Ultimate.
Not even in this game, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it might just fit. Because, I mean, again, I don't have much passion for how could you argue that every single move being a reference, all of them?
I think it goes beyond. I think it goes beyond the moves. It's the taunts are also from Game & Watch games. The fact that he's flat. And
he is flat. It's true. If you pause the game and move the camera, he's flat.
Yep, he's flat, and he also he moves like a character would move in a Game & Watch game on those old LCD screens. And it's not just that like he moves like that or he's flat. It's the fact that every single frame is from the Game & Watch games, those old Game & Watch games. It's quite literally as if they took that animation or that single frame out of that game and put it into this game.
You see, this is how you make a super bland character the most interesting character with their moveset. I'm just saying.
Exactly, because if you look at Mr. Game & Watch himself, there is no Game & Watch character named Mr. Game & Watch. He's an entirely original character, but he represents that idea. It's like Ness, where like Ness doesn't represent Ness, he represents the entirety of Earthbound.
I wouldn't be surprised if Mr. Game & Watch references every single game.
Quite literally every single one of them, or at least every single one of his attacks is a reference to another Game & Watch game.
But like, I'm wondering if actually he references every single Game & Watch game that exists.
He doesn't, because there's some games like Nintendo did a lot of like they did a couple like Disney.
Oh, okay. Either way.
And Mario games, and I think I just disconnected again.
Yeah, I think it's fair. Bonnie, are you gonna fight that character?
It's hard. It's hard
Dom, what do you
because
I would say yes. If when Kirby copied someone's ability, they gave every special that he had a different ability from that character.
so it's like full on just becoming the other character essentially.
That'd be insane.
Yeah, because that's what copy does.
Well,
I mean, yeah, that's fair.
I've mentioned this before. The thing is like, I'm actually wondering if this would be like, I've mentioned before, I wish that the copy ability turned him into that Kirby copy ability. Just one.
It would be less work because it would just be assigning a value to a character.
Yeah.
That being said, if that's what they did though, I would say they need to change all of his neutral attacks, his smash attacks. Maybe not his smash, at least his A attacks. And, you know, you should have like a signature neutral B. And even his aerials, I think.
Well, now you're talking about designing like upwards of like 10 different movesets for a character. And
He doesn't have to have them all though, is the thing. Like, he could just have sword, he could have fire.
Yeah. Just like 5 or 10 of them, and now you're talking about 5 or 10 entirely different movesets.
Because the thing is that those copy abilities, like, the copy ability that he has in Smash is not referencing Kirby. Just isn't. That's not how the copy ability works.
The only one that's a reference to Kirby is like Sword Kirby, because Sword Kirby is based off of Link.
Right, but I mean, he still only uses the bow. It's not like he actually uses.
Right, which is really funny.
So yeah, like, I mean, of course he would become Sword Kirby if he selected. That's the whole point. Like,
right.
Yes, I do. Even though the copy ability is strong, like, it's impressive, I don't think it's that much of a. That being said, are we all good with Mr. Game & Watch?
I personally am, but I won't fight it if both of you think that it should still be Kirby.
I think it should be Mr.
Yeah. I feel like with Kirby, we brought up enough things already that they could have done to make him the top tier, but for now, it's definitely Mr. Game & Watch.
I think Kirby might actually. Okay. That was good.
I'm trying to think of like other characters later on that are they cooked, and I can think of like maybe 2.
Isabella.
Isabelle, hell yeah, dude. Villager, they cooked.
That being
Villager, they
said,
cooked. Yep. The next character is Meta Knight, and that was from Brawl.
Meta Knight is.
Meta Knight is Brawl. How well does Meta Knight represent Super Smash Bros. Brawl?
True. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. That was fun. Yeah, I can't believe how many mid and born be fair, they did have. They had 2.
Yeah. The thing about Melee is like 6 or 7 of the characters are just clones, and the other ones they kind of had to rush through it because the game was made in like a year and a half, I think.
Yeah.
So they didn't really have the time to cook.
But they could have cooked by Ultimate. That's the point of the list.
Exactly. They could have cooked by Ultimate, but they didn't.
They didn't. They kept them the same. That's the whole point of it. Either way, I mean, hey, that's what they did for Mr. Game & Watch, right? All of our reasons for Mr. Game & Watch being they cooked is because of Ultimate. Ultimate made Mr. Game & Watch they cooked.
Yeah, the fact that they gave him the sprites that were from the games based on the individual characters from the games,
Right.
is what brings him
huge.
out of good into they cooked.
Absolutely. This should be the poster child for our Ultimate buff.
Favorite one.
Ultimate buffed an old character to deserve they cooked.
Also,
That's what we want.
one more thing about Game & Watch. Just it's not even in the game, but he has one of the coolest amiibo figures.
I don't even know. I didn't know that.
It's a piece of paper.
So it's flat. I actually have the amiibo. It's flat, but it comes with like 4 different poses that you can swap out.
Wait, that's actually cool.
Yeah, so like it's like the base one is like just Mr. Game & Watch standing there, but you can change it to be Mr. Game & Watch with a parachute, or with the bell, or with the judge, like the 9 with the hammer. But like it's
Yeah, there's actually quite a few of them.
yeah, Brawl does have a good amount of characters.
All right. Again, thank you so much for watching, everybody. Be excited for the next part. And Jeno, do the outro.
Later, Manor.